Kirby told the film crew to film how long that player was on the ground. I've got a big what we're hearing for you. You want to check this out over on Dawg Post. The link is right down below. And it's another insider article from the folks that we talked to who are at practices and in the program, talking about one of the players, a newcomer, and how Georgia is going to have to get guys who have not played a lot ready for the 2025 season, just because that's where we're at right now. And look, it's hard. It's hard to do the transition to a program the likes of Georgia. I mean, everything is already set in stone in terms of the standard. We talk about the standard a lot, but what the expectations are. Are you? I don't think you're going to see anybody not jogging on and off the field or to a place or quickly moving during a practice at Georgia. And we'll get a shot to see those practices. Thursday is Georgia's first practice. I anticipate that we will bring you some commentary after practice on riding homes Thursday at 7 o'clock or so. So make sure that you're tuned in for that. But this is what we're hearing. There's a lot of stuff that we're talking about with this offense and what will it look like? What will it be like? And it depends. As usual, I talk about this a lot. It depends on who you talk to, but there is optimism that Georgia has really improved themselves on the offensive side of the ball. Again, I would encourage you to go back and watch the Notre Dame game because that's what a lot of the negativity is based off of coming into the 25 season. Gunnar Stockton didn't perform well. I mean, I think that's a bit harsh, to be honest with you. Against Texas, he seemed to perform pretty well for half a game. I don't know. Against Notre Dame, I don't know. We're sitting there in Atlanta, and he's trying to take the blame for some of the stuff that happened offensively. Okay, but that's not necessarily based in reality. The quarterback can't do everything. Okay, the quarterback can't do everything, and I think that's the part that you get, dealt with in the fall. But there are a couple things that if they are adjusted slightly at Georgia, you're talking about a very different explosiveness level, particularly at receiver, and that's what Georgia wanted to go out and do. They wanted to get better catching the ball and being explosive. Here's a quote from what we were hearing. It says, these receivers are much better catching the ball. Branch is legit. The other receivers are taller and look like basketball players playing football. It's pretty different looking than the past. Colby Young is back out there, a bigger person. It's just a longer group. And we're going to see if they're explosive. I mean, I think we know Branch is, but we're going to see what that's going to be like to deal with all of them together. I mean, I've talked about Dylan Bell a lot. I'm a Dylan Bell fan. And when he is not a person that has to always play receiver because you're limited at receiver, that opens up a lot of magic in the playbook that you can do. This is stuff that we talk about on what we're hearing over on the website, over on Dawg Post. Make sure you're taking advantage of our opportunity that we've got for you right now. 3 months of Dawg Post and the preseason guide for $15. I'm going to put the link right down below. This offer is not going to last a lot longer, so take advantage of it while you can. There's a lot of people taking advantage. We're not going to run out of magazines for people who are signing up for the deal. It's the same cost as buying the magazine. So get yourself Dawg Post for the next 3 months. It's awesome. I'll tell you that right now. And a lot of new people coming on board. And you get to interact with me and Matt and Ryan all whenever. It's not just in videos or on social media. We really don't do Twitter. We really don't. We don't interact with folks there. We interact with people on the website and not so much on social media and not even in the comment sections. It's not comment section of these videos. So take advantage of it. You got a question for us about anything. This is the time of year where it really pays to have Dawg Post, and we've got a great offer for you. So take advantage of that right now. But I think once you start thinking about the guys that have been added on this team in this program, you're talking about very different wide receivers, and that should matter. Now, we'll just see. I mean, it's curious. It will be curious to see where they go with everything this fall, because this is a program that has got to take advantage of their situation right now in college football. College football is a little bit down right now. You're seeing a couple of years of the portal coming into play, and programs aren't. This is more year to year. Sam Pittman was talking about it at media days. This is a more year to year thing, and guys are going to have to quickly. The coaches are going to have to quickly develop guys. And I just don't know. That's easier said than done. I'll just tell you that right now. That is an easier said than done thing. When you say, "Oh, well, we're gonna," the only way to do something is to do it, and it's hard to do it when you can't. Like you don't have enough practices, or like if it takes about 18 games for a quarterback to really feel comfortable, or even 6 games, whatever it may be. I would say it's anywhere from 6 to 8 games to where a guy really feels like you have a grasp on things. I mean, I would say Jake Fromm, it took, about 3/4 of the season, something like that. I would say with Matthew, it definitely took until the Auburn game, which was in November. He didn't start for sure until, oh my gosh, I want to say the UAB game, and that's incorrect. But anyway, Matthew didn't start until after the Carolina game. I think it was Colorado, but Joe Cox had to come in. Aaron Murray took him a little bit of time. And Stetson is probably the best example. But you couldn't tell with Stetson you could tell because the 8 games were spread over years, and he'd started a bunch at Jones. So I think with this team, this program, how long will it take for Gunner to take off? He's essentially played 2 huge games. He's played 2 huge games, trophy games. Does that mean that's like playing 6 games? I don't think so. It's not like playing 2, gimme games like you have at the beginning of this season. And I was talking with someone earlier today. They said I really like the way that Georgia's season is laid out. Maybe this team does need a little bit more time, I guess you could say, or reps probably, until they get to the Alabama game. And Alex, because when you look at the beginning of the schedule, beginning of the season in 25, you got Alabama's playing Florida State. You can say whatever you want to about Florida State. You can say all the bad things you want to about Florida State. They're not Marshall or Austin Peay. The level of player is better. Ohio State, Texas, Clemson, LSU, Miami, Notre Dame. You've got several really good matchups. Week 1, we're going to be at Sanford. We're always at Georgia's games, road, away, neutral, whatever. But we're going to be rushing home to. We are going to keep an eye on the television set to watch these games. Sunday you've got Virginia Tech and Miami. Virginia Tech and Carolina. That's a fun game. I mean, you'll get to see what South Carolina's got right away, and then Texas Christian and North Carolina. But this first weekend of college football, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're degenerates. I'll just tell you that straight up right now. We are complete degenerates. We will watch anything. So I'll just tell you, like Hawaii at Arizona, yeah, we'll be watching that game. There is no filter for us. Utah at UCLA, the 11 o'clock kickoff on Fox. Yep. With an antenna too. We'll be picking up the Atlanta station with an antenna. So Clemson LSU is at 7:30 on ABC. It's a big game, but we'll watch Michigan play in New Mexico. We'll watch all these games because that time of the year is almost here. Now I'll tell you that one reason why another value for Dawg Post is we're going to be going out, watching them play. People say, well, it doesn't matter as much. It doesn't. That's true. But we tell you that. We're not going to lie to you either. But I think this first weekend of college football, you're going to want to be locked and loaded. Syracuse, Tennessee, that's a good game. Texas, Ohio State. You've got a lot of games. Georgia's not going to really enter college football until later in the season, until they go to Tennessee to really find out what they've got. I think you're going to be able to tell pretty quick. I mean, first half of the first game, to me, that always matters a lot. It shouldn't be difficult. You should be able to do what that doesn't mean you can't improve, but you should be able to do what you need to do in game one at the start pretty quick. If you've got explosion, we didn't see that out of Georgia last year. Well, they were playing a pretty good defense, and they didn't have the guy in ETN that I thought would help them be explosive. Turns out he wasn't around a lot anyway, just because of injury or whatever else. But I think this weekend coming up, the first official weekend, Alabama going to Florida State. I mean, they might goof around a little bit. Them losing that game would be astonishing to me. I mean, they're almost a 2-touchdown favorite on the road. Florida State will be all gussied up. They'll probably give them some trouble for a while, but it won't be forever. And that's the thing, y'all, is this is going to be a challenging season. Almost certainly everyone will lose. The question is, how do you recover from losses? Are they catastrophic, or are you going to just kind of move on with your season? I don't know, but you can join us during the journey that is the 25 season by subscribing down below. Thanks for watching.